The 2023 NBA season is well underway, and there's no shortage of young talent taking the league by storm. But what about those players who were supposed to be the next big thing but somehow got left behind? I'm talking about the once highly touted prospects, the flashy phenomens full of limitless potential who, whether due to injuries, misfortune, or simply not panning out, have sadly become afterthoughts. In this video, I'll be counting down 10 hyped NBA players who haven't quite lived up to expectations. These are guys who maybe got injured one too many times, never quite fit with their team, or just haven't put it all together yet. As we go through the list, think about what could have been for these players and whether or not they still have a chance to turn their careers around. Could we see an epic comeback story in the making? Let's jump right in and find out. Number 10. Dragan Bender. Whatever happened to Dragan Bender? As the 4th overall pick in 2016, Bender entered the league dripping with intrigue as a Croatian big man who could stretch the floor. The Suns snagged him early, dreaming of a Kristaps Porzingis-like versatile scorer. Early returns actually seemed promising, but injuries kept Bender off the floor during what should have been his development years. Entering his 5th season, Bender had already flamed out of Phoenix, unable to crack 20 minutes per game as a bench warmer. Short stints with the Bucks and Warriors went nowhere, as Bender shot a ghastly 27% from deep since 2018. Now, at just 25 years old, he is already playing overseas, perhaps permanently. For Bender, unreliability and a lack of toughness sunk his NBA hopes. The skills never actualized into a valuable contributor. Number 9. Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson arrived in Phoenix with serious two-way potential as the 4th pick in 2017. An athletic swingman who starred at Kansas, Jackson shot up draft boards as perhaps the best wing prospect behind Jason Tatum. But after a halfway decent rookie year, Jackson severely regressed while struggling mightily with his maturity and work ethic. He quickly fell out of favor with the Suns, getting traded to Memphis and only continuing his downward spiral. Jackson's shooting deserted him, his defensive effort waned, and he bounced between the NBA and G League. Jackson, now in his 5th organization at only 25 years old, is a full-time developmental player for the Raptors. It's unclear if he'll ever rediscover the dynamic athleticism and competitive drive that once enthused scouts. Number 8. Emmaunel Mudiay. Emmaunel Mudiay was supposed to be the next great international guard after entering the NBA from China in 2015. Several outlets even had the gigantic 6'5" playmaker ranked above D'Angelo Russell in that draft class. His blend of athleticism, skill, and physical tools made Mudiay seem like a budding star combo guard. But after flashing promise as a rookie, Mudiay completely stagnated in Denver, bogged down by inefficient shooting and high turnover rates. He's now already on his 5th team at just 26 years old, as a journeyman backup trying to stay in the league. Injuries robbed Mudiay of crucial development time, but perhaps he was just never equipped for NBA stardom. The physical gifts never translated into premium skills or feel for the game. Number 7. Michael Carter-Williams. Go back to the early months of Michael Carter-Williams' career, and you'd think he was on a star track. The lanky 6'6" guard immediately took the league by storm in Philadelphia, notching an insane December 7th 22 stat line in his first game while racking up multiple rookie awards. MCW, he used his size and vision to fill box scores. He looked like a franchise cornerstone for the rebuilding 76 Ers. But the holes in his game became glaringly obvious when his shooting numbers fell off a cliff. Never a reliable shooter, Carter-Williams grew increasingly passive on offense while struggling to fit next to other guards. Now on his 6th team before age 30, Carter-Williams has fully morphed into a journeyman bench warmer, bouncing between bit roles. Perhaps the star potential was always fool's gold, but he remains a cautionary tale of how quickly hype vanishes without elite skills. Number 6. Noah Vonlah. When Noah Vonlah entered the NBA as a highly touted top 10 pick in 2014, Many figured it was only a matter of time until he developed into a dangerous inside-out threat. He had shown promising flashes of post-scoring touch, rim protection instincts, and even some range on his jumper. As the years passed, however, Vonlah's ascension never materialized. He's already played for 6 different teams in what amounts to a disappointing career. For all his physical gifts and big summer hype, Vonlah has never averaged double figures in scoring or played 25 minutes per game for a full season. He topped out as an intriguing role player, now fighting just to stay in the league. Number 5. D'Angelo Russell. Winding up on this list pains me as a die-hard D'Angelo Russell fan, but the results simply don't lie. When Brooklyn snagged D'Lo in 2017 and anointed him a franchise star, they foresaw perennial all-star numbers headlining playoff runs. There were even murmurings that Russell could surpass teammate Spencer Dinwiddie as the franchise centerpiece. Yet after 3 straight seasons of missing the playoffs, the Nets dumped Russell to Golden State rather than offer him a max contract. D'Lo still shows flashes as an exciting scorer and playmaker, but has yet to prove capable of positively impacting winning. His porous defense and boom-or-bust efficiency have stalled his progress. Russell has already played for 4 teams at just 26 years old, still fighting to cement himself in a team's long-term plans. Number 4. Andrew Wiggins. The cautionary tale of raw talent over refined skill and feel for the game. Dating back to high school mixtapes, expectations have always overwhelmed reality for Wiggins. Touted as a generational athletic talent and future MVP candidate coming out of Kansas, Wiggins instead remains the empty stats poster boy. Playing third fiddle on his 3rd franchise before age 28, Wiggins now sports career averages of 19.5 points on 44% shooting without any playoff success. For all his isolation scoring talent, Wiggins has never shown development as a playmaker, defender, or winning player. After signing a massive extension in Minnesota, he's settled nicely into a rigid role as a 3-and-D wing. But for a former #1 overall pick with elite physical tools, Wiggins serves as a sobering example of how hype and talent guarantee nothing at the next level. Number 3. Markelle Fultz. The process of Markelle Fultz's demise remains shrouded in mystery to this day. But rewind to 2017, where Fultz joined the 76 ERs as the consensus number 1 pick, a complete point guard package with dynamic athleticism, pull-up game, and off-dribble juice. His blend of size, skills, and two-way impact drew lofty comparisons to James Harden or Dwyane Wade. But then, the bizarre lost jump shot saga unfolded. A shoulder injury of some sort completely broke Fultz's shooting mechanics and confidence. What followed was a sad tailspin, plummeting from Philly's playoff rotation into obscurity. Now on Orlando as a backup guard, the Magic will cut Fultz after this year since he never regained even replacement-level impact. Thanks to perhaps the strangest injury in sports history, an all-star career trajectory got utterly railroaded for the former number 1 pick. Number 2. Dante Exum. Once billed as an athletic Australian prodigy dripping with superstar potential, Dante Exum now symbolizes the fickle and unforgiving nature of NBA hype cycles. Back in 2014, some evaluators even rated Exum over Zach LaVine thanks to his 6'6" size and explosive playmaking gifts. But the tenor changed swiftly once Exum took the NBA floor. Plagued by constant knee injuries requiring 4 surgeries, Exum struggled mightily to stay on the court for Utah over 5 disappointing years. Incessant rehabs kept stunting his development until the Jazz finally moved on. Now 27 years old, Exum finds himself clinging to an NBA career as a deep bench warmer. Recent stops in Houston and Brooklyn saw him play sparingly in garbage time. For Exum, perpetual injury and bad luck derailed his progress almost before it began. We likely never saw his ceiling. Number 1. Jabari Parker. Of all the young prospects to flame out early, Jabari Parker's squandered stardom remains the most jarring. he earned the nickname Chicago's Finest after thriving as an NBA-ready wing scorer at Duke, drawing sky-high comparisons to Carmelo Anthony and Paul Pierce. The Milwaukee Bucks snagged Parker second overall in 2014, plugging an explosive bucket-getter into their exciting young core. Parker held up his end at first, making 2 all-rookie teams amidst 20-point averages as a featured weapon. But 2 devastating ACL tears in his left knee robbed Jabari of his trademark quickness and lift at just 23 years old. Parker steadily regressed the next few seasons, cratering into an overpaid salary dump before Milwaukee waived him outright. Barely hanging on to an NBA role now, Parker should still be entering his prime at 28 years old. Instead, his status as a cautionary tale is sadly cemented. Another young career was irreversibly altered by a catastrophic injury. And there you have it. 10 young NBA players who have been surprisingly left behind by the rapid league landscape. Injuries can cruelly alter trajectories, while lacking a key skill proves fatal to carving out real value. Each story reinforces how ephemeral hype can be without the mentality, skill development, and good fortune necessary to pop at the highest level. Of course, there's still time for these guys to resurrect their careers and reach their potential. But the examples in this video underscore why teams get impatient, waiting on players to realize their promise in a demanding, results-driven business. As always, potential guarantees nothing at this elite stage, leaving yesterday's hyped saviors stuck trying to earn relevant roles.